I started to gain a little bit of weight and it creeps up on you. I was like a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there. And then all of a sudden I had gained a ton of weight and I was getting really frustrated because now I'm over 40. This is my new body. And, maybe I just need to accept that.
Hello and welcome to the BODi Experience. This is such an exciting week because we are in what we call launch week. June 27th is when we drop the new BODi LAVA program. And today we're going to talk about that program that I think, I'm going to call it the perfect workout because it's just 20 minutes of work, 5 days a week for 6 weeks with no equipment. And I think it's going to be a program that changes everything for people because it's a total excuse buster and it's getting people outrageous results in just 20 minutes. Okay, that program was created by super trainer Elise Joan. You might know her from 3-week yoga retreat, bar blend, fire and flow. But this program is unlike anything that we've ever seen from Elise. It's a hardcore, pretty intense combination of primal movement, power yoga, and like I said, launches June 27th. I'm going to start it on July 1st personally and go for all 6 weeks, 5 days a week. And you can try the sample workout right now on BODi Previews for free. And then decide if you want to make it your feel-good summer project. Here's somebody else who's going to do the program. My guest today, Bianca O'Brien. Welcome to the BODi Experience, Bianca.
Thank you. Thank you, Carl. So it's an honor to be here.
And so tell me what things were like before you started the program. I mean, I saw your before pictures. It wasn't that bad. So what was life like at the beginning?
Yeah, no, you're right. They weren't that bad. I've been a partner for almost 11 years, I think. I've been keeping up with a healthy lifestyle ever since I enrolled. And, things weren't that bad. But as of right after the pandemic, I turned 40 and I started to gain a little bit of weight. And it, how it is, it's kind of like it creeps up on you. I was like a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there. I kind of got distracted with it. And then all of a sudden I had gained a ton of weight and I was getting really frustrated. I went back to doing what I knew was, worked for me. And I was getting frustrated because it felt like I was doing everything right, but the weight wasn't budging. And so I was feeling really frustrated. I was feeling defeated. I felt like I just had to accept that, because now I'm over 40. This is my new body. And, maybe I just need to accept that and not complain so much about it. But, I was really frustrated and I was just not in a good place.
All right. So we'll get through the experience of this, but let's get right to the punchline. You have lost how much weight doing rounds of this 20-minute program with no dumbbells, no weights at all?
It's crazy. I just weighed myself a little while ago and I'm up to 13 pounds. It's insane to me. It's like just baffling.
So wait, you turned 40. You're frustrated that the weight's not coming off as predictably as it used to for you. And then doing a 20-minute program 5 days a week with no dumbbells, you lost 13 pounds that hadn't been moving for you.
Yeah. It's crazy to me because I was doing so much more. And I felt like I said, I was doing everything right. My workouts were 45. I was doing 45-minute workouts and walking and counting every calorie that was going to my body and nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden, 20 minutes a day. And I was just like, I kept messaging Elise, how is this happening? I don't understand. How is this possible?
That's awesome. So I want to now go into your experience of the program. I haven't done it yet, so you're giving me some insight into what my first week might be like, and we've heard from people that first week can be intimidating. And in fact, some people see the moves and they're like, "Oh, I don't know," they don't like putting pressure on their wrists or doing floor work. Tell me what your day one was like. Was it natural for you? Was it refreshing? What was your experience?
So we weren't told much about the program before we started. We knew that it was a yoga-inspired workout. And that was exciting to me because I love yoga. I've been a yogi most of my life. I love yoga. I, felt like I was an experienced yogi. And I came into that day one, and at the end, I think everybody in the Zoom chat, because we were all working out on Zoom, we're all looking at each other like, what just happened? We were completely shocked by what Elise put together. It's a flow, so you start and you don't stop for 20 minutes. And by the end of those 20 minutes, you are just drenched. You don't know what happened. You're confused, but I felt so energized. I felt like, sometimes when you do a hard workout, you feel really spent and tired and you're just like out of breath. This was the complete opposite. I was just like, all right, now I finished that. What else can I do? Like I was, excited because I just felt so energized by the program.
That's amazing. So were the moves super challenging for you, or did it come naturally?
Yeah. So the moves were challenging. I remember them saying you're going to need yoga blocks. And I was like, I don't need yoga blocks. I'm good. Because I felt like it was yoga and I got that. But it's not just yoga. What Elise put together is really phenomenal. It is challenging. And I think the biggest hurdle that a lot of people are going to have is just getting out of your head and allowing her to guide you through, because she does a phenomenal job on just, working through your form and cueing you. She really does do a great job with that. So if you just let go of the expectations of what you think you should be doing and how you should be doing, and you just listen to her cues and you allow yourself to be in the moment and enjoy the workout, I guarantee you're gonna love it.
It's interesting. That is like literally the theme of this concept of a feel-good summer, where it's not just about losing that 13 pounds, but it's about going after an experience. And that's what I'm looking forward to, quite honestly. I've never really approached a fitness program where the 6 weeks is just about the experience and the journey for me. And as much as I'm excited because I know primal movement always just lubricates all my joints and everything just feels better when I devote time to that rather than just purely lifting. So for 6 weeks, I'm going to do this program. And I think that's really great insight that fitness can be an experience unto itself rather than just an outcome,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think if people come into this and allow themselves to be surprised by it, I think it's going to be shocking. For me, it was all about, comparing my day one and just seeing the progress every week. I was making progress, and that made me really excited because yes, the moves were challenging in the beginning, but as time went on and I was able to do them, that completely changed just I was looking forward every day. I was like, okay, what can I do today? And can I not use the block today? And can I hold myself up in this position a little bit longer? So yeah, that part was the best part about the program, is just seeing yourself progress through the weeks.
When did you start to notice that you were seeing results that were sort of surprising you?
Right away. Within the first couple of weeks, I was already like, well, there's something different about this. And I think, Carl, I'm also a jiu-jitsu athlete. So I train jiu-jitsu, and noticing myself being able to do more and moves that I couldn't do before, just my flexibility and mobility and how they were increasing, that I even noticed before I noticed the physical transformations were, just seeing how much better I was getting at my sport. That was really cool too. And that was something that I didn't expect.
And what about nutrition? Did you change anything up with your nutrition, or did you follow one of our nutrition programs?
It's funny. So I've been a partner for 11 years. So I am a Portion Fix fan. I've always followed Portion Fix. And when things started to change for me at 40, I figured, it must be my nutrition. So I completely changed that up. I abandoned Portion Fix. I went, in search of the latest thing, because that's what, I don't know, I guess we're conditioned to do. And I started counting macros and weighing my food and doing all this. And still, I was like, well, everything on paper looks right. Why is the scale not moving? And so when I went into Lava and they put me on Portion Fix, and they even put me in a bracket above what I thought I should be on, I started, just seeing the weight loss. And then I also noticed okay, well, I thought I knew what my portions were supposed to look like, but I really didn't, because I've been doing it for so long. I kind of was not really being too strict about it, and I deviated from the containers. And when I went back to it, I was like, this is amazing. Why did I deviate from this? And it's so much more simple than what I was trying to do. It's insane.
Yeah, I think a lot of people go through that, like something that even though it worked for you and you have all this confidence in it, and then if you hit a speed bump and you don't see the results, or you're not sure how to even watch for the results, all of a sudden you abandon it really quick and you think, I'm smarter than the program. So good for you for getting it back. Now, what about like supplements, or did you change anything? Were you consistent with your management of energy and overall well-being?
Yeah, absolutely. So I because I was following Portion Fix, I got better about my Shakeology too, which I was, when I was traveling, I'm a flight attendant. So when I was traveling, I wouldn't bring my shakes with me because I don't like to just mix it up. I like to blend it. And and I was like, well, I don't want to do it that way. And then I just got creative because I wanted to have my shake every day. I wanted to follow the test group, how it was supposed to be. And so instead of making the shakes, which I didn't like on the road, I then started making overnight oats. I started looking at, dessert recipes and things that I could incorporate the Shakeology in so that I could have my Shakeology every day. And man, does it make a difference. Now I notice, because I've been consistent with it, I notice the days that I don't have it are the days that I tend to overeat, or I crave chocolate, or I crave sugar, late at night. So I now am like religious about my shakes. It doesn't matter where I'm going. I'm like, okay, even if I have to mix it with water, that is what I'm doing, because I notice the difference.
That's awesome. Now, wait, you just said something that sort of blows my mind. You're a flight attendant and you managed to stay on track with a 6-week fitness program. I don't know about you, but the one thing that will derail my consistency is changing time zones and lots of travel. Like that is the ultimate easy excuse for me to take a week or two off. Because I'm very specific about my routine. How do you incorporate fitness into a travel schedule that never stops?
I feel like Lava is going to change that for you, because you have no excuse. It's 20 minutes and you need no equipment. So you can do it anywhere. That didn't matter where I was. The way I kept up with my routine is I would wake up, drink my Energize, get my Lava done. Wake up, drink my Energize, get my Lava done. And now it's so ingrained in me that there is, even when I'm traveling, or if I'm on vacation or something else, that's what I do. I get up, drink my Energize, and get my Lava on. It's 20 minutes. It literally is done before you even think about it. So it's really hard to just skip it.
So to get those kind of results in 20 minutes, I would imagine it's pretty intense. And so there's different kinds of intense, right? Time under tension, lifting intense. There's insanity intense. What is 20 minutes of BODi LAVA intense like? Is it miserable? Is it excruciating?
No.
What can I expect here?
No, I think a lot of it is, it's the mental acuity. It's trying to make your body do something that you don't think it can do. And so it at least challenges you in a way that's so unique. There are hit days and there are different kind of days that workouts change. And of course we have our favorites, but as in general, as it's just the flow. It's how they transition, how the move transitions from one to the next. And when you don't think you can do it, you're like 5 minutes standing on one leg, doing lunges on one leg and doing, squats on one leg. And you're like, I don't think I can do this. And then you do. And it's just great. And there's also the really cool thing about Lava, I think, is, you have the ability to modify it as you go. There is no reps. She's not counting them. She gives you so much flexibility and so much permission to experiment with the moves that it works for everybody. You make it as hard and as challenging as you want it to be, but you just allow yourself to be in the moment and let her guide you, and it'll go from there.
How helpful was the group that you were a part of? I don't know how many people were in your group, but was that a chore, or was that a meaningful part of the experience?
It was the experience. It was the experience. The community part of it was so big. I used to, before, like when COVID was around, I used to do Zoom workouts with my team. And that was something that really brought us together. And, after the pandemic went away, we went on with our lives, and we've all just been doing our own little thing. With Lava, we were getting on Zoom every day to work out together. After the test group is done, we're still getting on the Zoom and working out together because we've created such a community. And so I think having the support and just kind of there's something magic about going through a program together where you can talk about, how hard that move was, and, and you're feeling weak that day and something happened, and, and you want to reach for a glass of wine and somebody's like, no, you got this. And they give you that support. I think that was such a crucial part of my success with the program, 100%.
So we're coming up on the launch here, June 27th. Like I said, I'm starting at July 1st. Will you be starting your own group as a BODi partner to help give people that experience with the program?
100%. July 1st is our date too. We have already started. We've started with the prep calendar. We're following. I haven't been able to deviate from Elise as a trainer. So we've been getting together, doing bar blend, super block, and, doing the fire and flow and getting ready for lava, because it does take a little bit of conditioning for you to get into it. So I have recommended it. The girls are doing it. We're having a great time, and we're just so anxious for the program to come out.
That's incredible, Bianca. Thank you so much. I mean, anybody who's listening, who's ready to start or wants to help somebody, they can reach out to you, or, they can find the right partner for them. But I really appreciate you helping us inspire people to make this a feel-good summer for them. It's really awesome. And look, as a viewer to the BODi Experience, no matter what, if you want to try the sample workout for BODi Lava, you got to get access to BODi Previews. You can just download the BODi app in the App Store, or you go to BODiPreviews.com, and just in exchange for your email address, we'll give you access to over 130 sample workouts. They're all really good workouts. It's like $100 worth of content that you get access to, and you can sample as many as you like. And once you find the one that's right for you, like if you're going to do BODi Lava, you pick that, you sign up, or you can just purchase the program and download it as a one-off, and then you're going to have your own BODi experience, just like Bianca talked about. And if you do, we'd love to hear about it. We want to hear your story on our Instagram account called @BODiStories. And the team takes a look at it. And if we decide to follow up and talk to you, you might be on the podcast, or maybe we'll feature you on BODi Stories. And that's when you get a t-shirt in exchange for that. Or if you just want to stay connected with what's going on, you can join my private text community that you just text me at 818-650-4369. I'll give you a couple of prompts just to get to know you a little bit. And then any special offers or new sample workouts come out, I'll notify you there. And also when we put up new BODi Experience podcasts. But people like Bianca are the proof that this community is about more than, I think, creating a lifetime habit of fitness. It's about creating a lifetime habit of healthy choices, navigating life, and getting support from other people on that same journey to understand what obstacles are facing you and try to overcome them. And that's how, people, you turn 40, the body starts to change, and you got to figure out how to change with it. And that's what we try to achieve in the BODi Experience and at BODi. So I hope you'll connect with us. I hope if you're part of the community already, I hope you'll share it with other people so that we can help more people feel great, achieve their goals, and live happy, fulfilling lives. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the BODi Experience.